Hello and welcome back to Through the Trapdoor. I'm Emily.
And I'm Katie.
And this is our podcast where we read you Harry Potter fan fiction.
And this is our mini episode, so happy October.
Happy October 1st.
It's officially spooky season, although I've been full spooky for some time now.
In podcast news,
yes,
our downloads have skyrocketed all of a sudden.
Like, hi guys, thanks so much.
I don't know where you guys are coming from,
but we love you.
Welcome.
And welcome to this nonsense.
So, normally in an average month, we get about 200 downloads.
Which is, we're fine with it. This is mostly an excuse for us to hang out and read fan fiction together.
Yes. This month, we've had over 1,500 downloads.
In 1 month, this is bonkers.
It is crazy.
Hi, how are you?
Welcome to our nonsense that is our podcast.
I hope you stick around long enough to hear us saying hello to you.
Yeah, seasons 1 and 2 are kind of garbage.
Yeah.
We accept that, we know. Not saying that this isn't still garbage, but it's better than the original 2 seasons of garbage.
Oh, yeah. We've gotten better.
All right, would you like to read first, or would you like me to read first?
I'll go first.
Okay, go ahead.
So because it's spooky season, I decided to go a little bit spooky. Cute spooky. What's trick or treat? Sirius asks, lounging on Remus's bed. It's what Muggle children do on Halloween in England and America, Remus answers, not looking up from his transfiguration homework. Why? You wrote about it in your Muggle Studies essay, Sirius replied, watching Remus write another sentence on his homework, from over his shoulder. Why were you reading my Muggle Studies homework, may I ask? Remus asks, putting his homework down and turning to look at Sirius. I was bored, Sirius says, over-dramatically.
Yeah, that's serious.
Very serious. You've still got your potions and divination essay to do, Remus says, shaking his head fondly. That's no less boring, Sirius answers, getting up from Remus's bed and sitting on the floor next to him. So tell me about this Muggle trick-or-treat thingy. Remus sighs. It's when Muggle children go to people's houses and get sweets. So they just go to someone's house and ask for sweets? Sirius asks, smiling like a child on Christmas morning. And getting up, I've got to go tell James about this. He told you not to, Remus starts to say, but the door slams shut before he can finish. Prongs! Sirius shouts and jumps over the sofa beside James and Lily. What the hell, Padfoot? James complains, pushing his friend onto the floor. Remus has just been telling me about a Muggle tradition, Sirius says, jumping up from the floor. Which Muggle tradition? Lily says, laughing like a child. Trick or treat, Sirius shouts, getting strange looks from the first years in the corner. What is trick or treat thing, Lily? James asks, interested. It's where you dress up in scary costumes and go to people's houses to get sweets, Lily explains, giggling, when James smiles just like Sirius was. What? You get sweets? For free, James says, amazed. And you get to scare people, Sirius says, jumping up and down. Don't forget the tricks as well, Remus says, joining them in the common room. Tricks? James and Sirius both say at the same time. Well, you go to their doors and you say trick or treat. If they say trick, then you get to trick them, Lily explains, shaking her head in amusement. What do you have to do to be able to go to trick-or-treating? Sirius asks, looking at Remus. Well, you need to be a kid for starters, Remus answers, laughing when Sirius turns to Lily and James and says, dibs on your kids when you have them. Bit early for that, Padfoot, James says, as he and Lily both go red. But you love each other. All that's next to do is get married and have kids, and then I can take them trick-or-treating, Sirius says, making everyone, including him, break down into laughter. And that's the cute little trick-or-treating.
Loved
Explaining it to Sirius and James.
Love it. All right, are you ready for mine?
I'm here.
I told Katie I wasn't going to tell her what mine was. I was just going to start reading.
I'm very excited.
Neville had returned to his final year at Hogwarts, hoping to take the spot as apprentice to Professor Sprout. He studied diligently and socialized frequently. His battles during his time there the previous year giving him the confidence he lacked for so long. He had decided that day to reward his hard work in his lengthy charms essay by attending the final Gryffindor Quidditch practice of the season. He climbed to the top of the stands, behind many of the girls of his house, and he took his seat. He noticed a familiar face. Oliver Wood!
Shut up!
He exclaimed. What brings you back to Hogwarts?
Ah!
Oliver looked at the tall man sitting next to him, staring intently until recognition washed over his face. Well, I'll be a Thestral's backside, Neville Longbottom. Good to see you, mate. I'm here as a scout for the Puttermere Reserve team. The two chatted amicably. Yeah, that's what we're going with.
It works for me.
About the strongest prospects at Hogwarts that year. Neville painfully admitted that Slytherin was likely to win the House Cup, and Oliver taking notes on the plays his former team favored. As they watched, the Seeker took a glorious dive towards the snitch. Neville let out a sigh. I wish I could fly like that. I'm rubbish on a broom. Oliver chuckled a bit and clasped Neville's shoulder. Flying's not that hard. Let me teach you. That is how Neville found himself on the Quidditch pitch during his free period with a broom and a slave driver of a flying coach for the past 3 weeks. Grasped the broom more firmly. Higher. Left. Right. Oliver barked orders like the head of the aura department. Neville flew higher to escape his commands and noticed a grin on Oliver's face and the slightest tinge of red to his shaggy brown hair. He's damn near attractive when you can't hear him shout, Neville thought as he soared around the pitch, vaguely listening to commands and still being hurled at him. As he landed, he could almost see the impressed glint in Oliver's eyes. However, the words that flew out of the Quidditch player's mouth caught him totally off guard. Go to Hogsmeade with me next weekend? Oliver blurted out as soon as Neville's feet touched the ground. The shock on Neville's face was apparent. Like a date? He muttered shyly. Only if you want it to be. I mean, you don't have to at all. I mean, it's just like friends unless you want it to be a date. I mean, it can be.
I love Oliver!
Oliver spewed out almost as fast as his brain could register the words. Neville turned scarlet and Oliver's shoulders slumped. Then Neville laughed, his whole face breaking into a wide grin. All right, mate, it's a date. Meet me at the Three Broomsticks at noon.
Ah!
Neville pecked Oliver on the cheek and made his way to a much-needed shower, glowing with the excitement for the prospects of the week to come. The end.
Oh my god, that was adorable.
I love it.
That's so cute.
That was inspired by Fanatical Fix reading they did a week or 2 ago, where it was all the wizards were gay.
Yes.
And paired up. And Voldemort somehow became best friends with Draco.
Yes.
At a tea party where he was already friends with Ron. That was a wild story.
That was a wild story.
But I was like, who would Neville be paired with? And then I was like, you know what? I really hope that it's Oliver.
I love that. I would have never put Neville and Oliver together, but it's now my favorite.
It's probably now one of my favorite. It's a very hard ship to find, though.
I completely ship it. I love it so, so much.
So if anyone out there is writing fan fiction and has more Neville Oliver that you would like to write and send to us, I would be more than happy to read it.
Or loves Neville Oliver and has some for us,
yes.
Send it our way.
Yep. All right, any other things you want to talk about?
I think that's it. I hope everybody has a lovely October 1st.
Yes.
Please enjoy your spooky season, and we'll see you on Saturday.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much for joining us on our journey through the trapdoor.
You can leave us a review on Facebook or Apple Podcasts. It would literally mean the world to us.
Or you can find us on Twitter and Instagram at TheTrapdoor16.
Or if you have any longer thoughts, you can shoot us an email at throughthetrapdoor16@gmail.com.
Thank you so much, and we'll see you again next week.
See you next week.